dragging himself out and crawling because his ankle's all broken. He's like, "Don't tell my wife." And like that's all he said. Like that's all he said about that. Don't tell my wife. And then shit hit the fan, man. I don't know why it keeps freezing on me, but this is. I don't know, man. This is where shit started to really get real. And Bedoy, he ran up to the helicopter and pulled it's a 240 Hotel off of the helicopter and put it in his position. So like he ran up and just like, oh, and then just set it down so we had an extra 240 now. But man, it was just out of nowhere. Like it just got so loud, so quick, especially in the mountains. So like, I just like find a video, but you know everything echoes and all that stuff through the mountains too. But at that point, like, fuck, man, it went from being like totally quiet out there, not seeing anyone, to just being everywhere, like in the trees, just running up on us, and like hundreds of people just came out of fucking nowhere the next day. And Madueño, he's a little Mexican dude. He had an M4, and he was telling me, because I was on one of the other 240s bouncing around. Oh, that was Lieutenant Peterson. Maybe this is where you can see the bomb drop that fucking picks him up. And we were out there with the scouts and stuff too, and our scout snipers were with us. But just out of nowhere, this is the bird that first attempted to come get us. It didn't work. Okay, so out of nowhere, it just got super fucking loud, and just everything came to life, man. And then rockets came in out of fucking nowhere, and we were getting hit from like 3 different sides. And I don't know, man. I think that's the thing that just like shook me the most, was just how fucking loud it got, how quick, like just. I don't know, I can't describe that. And that's I guess in those moments where you really just like stop thinking and really go into action until you can reflect back on it. Yeah. But that was probably the scariest fucking moment of my life, my entire life. And I remember looking up at one point, and there were so many rounds just fucking coming in everywhere that they were hitting tree branches, and I remember looking up from my fighting position, just seeing tree branches right next to my fucking head fall off. And like I remember just like getting down, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then the next thing I know, just like everything just fucking went white. And I just you know, like my fucking bell just got rung. And there was a rock right in front of our position. The RPG hit it, and that shockwave just fucking threw us back. And I look up to my left, and I was like, "Henderson, you good?" And I saw my buddy like in a different fighting position. I seen him for 1 second, and the next thing I see, he's just down like that. I was like, "Oh fuck, dude! Like Torres just got hit." Well, what had happened was Torres was looking up to see if they're like where they were shooting with the saw, and a fucking round caught his Surefire, the little light that's on there. Fucking cut his head back like that and threw him back. Oh, so I was like, "Oh, dude!" I was like, "He got fucking hit, blah blah blah." Oh man, and anyways, Doc, he was one of the ones in that picture just now. He was standing like right here, and he was looking out to see if there was anyone coming. Someone fucking shot right by his face, and this is a bullet that skipped right up and like right in front of his face.
Yo, that's too close, man.
So.
Because like in that neck of the woods, all the 10th Mountain contacts, they all, and the 173rd that I studied and talked to, they all had the same thing, just waves of RPGs, man. Just they said RPGs just in like waves. And it was just like raining RPGs.
And I think that was the real big difference too. And that was everyone. Well, besides me, because I had to take a picture after the mission. But yeah, and I think that was the real big differentiating factor in that was before, like we got fucking lit up before. Don't get me wrong, man. We've been fucking lit up with PKMs and Dishkas, and there've been a couple RPGs, but and this one, man, it was
just
RPG
the level of fire,
and so fucking quick too, like so quick. They're so quiet, man.
Yeah, and that's, you know what? That's exactly the same thing the guys I talked to said. In the same area, the same contacts.
So fucking quiet.
You'd just be sitting there, and then suddenly it's just like, and just they said it was just like raining.
Yeah.
Everything. It's like just stuff that just. You said you couldn't imagine how heavy the fire was.
Just branches, and I remember just looking up and just branches falling off the trees, and like.
Yeah.
At that point in time, it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, what the fuck? You know, like you just look up real quick and I see branches falling. I was like, what the fuck? What? And then later on it clicks like they're falling because bullets are hitting them because there's so many bullets coming in.
It's cutting the
that
trees.
it's cutting the fucking trees down. And so I remember that, and there was a few parts. A few of our dudes got put in for our comms, I think. VIA and where's Sherlock? Sergeant Sherlock got our comms with view devices. So VIA was our M14 guy on the mission. And I have a video somewhere. Some of these fucking firefights. But yeah, so he was the M14 gunner on that mission, and he fucking struck a bunch of people. That's why he got his RCOM. And Sergeant Sherlock was running ammo back and forth, and he got pinned down, and he got hit, dude. He got hit fucking hard by all these RPGs, and he was rolling grenades down at the hill, and we were talking. He's like, dude, like they got so close to his position that he could hear him coughing and like reloading their weapons and shit, getting ready to fucking charge the hill, and he was just rolling grenades down the hill at these guys. So that one was a crazy one. Is this it? And Bedoy talked to one of the dudes somehow, one of these Air Force guys, and got the bomb drop on a fucking helo. I guess it was on the road. Oh. But yeah, this is where they dropped the bomb on the fucking. What just happened? Sorry. On the helicopter.
Oh yeah, they blew up the helicopter. Yeah.
Yeah, after we left, they dropped a JDAM on the helicopter.
Yeah,
but yeah, I left after a day, like a day and a half almost, because no one like had thought, I guess, to bring like any medicine for elevation sickness, and so we were fucking going left and right, and Doc ran out of all his meds. So Wishart, myself, and Sergeant Smith went back, and so, man, just after all that, like I said, man, just. After being through something like that, it's so hard to not be with your guys when you know that's what they're going through. And so after I got back, I didn't go to sleep at all for the rest of the night. And this was before Lieutenant Clayson became our platoon leader. He was just like the supply, whatever, OIC, whatever the fuck that is. XO somewhere, something like that? I don't know. But anyways, he wasn't on LT yet, and he's like, "Hey, go to sleep." I was like, "No, I'm good, sir." So Lieutenant Clayson and I stayed up for the entire fucking day until these guys got back. We didn't go to sleep until these fucking guys came back to us. But we were building body bags full of fucking speedball bags.
Speedball bags.
We were filling body bags full of ammo and fucking tobacco.
Ammo and water.
Yep. I went and I had like I don't know why, I drew out like $1,000 fucking bucks one day whenever pay came through. I was like, oh shit, I got so much money. And then I sat there, I was like, the fuck am I gonna spend all this money on, man? And so during that mission, I spent like $600 on tobacco. I bought the entire little fucking like store out of tobacco that we were close to, and I just sent it all to those guys.
Yeah. Awesome.
And that was the fucking worst part, man, just hearing about that and hearing, because I was there when Lieutenant Del Castillo, I was in the talk when he got hit, and hearing the 9-line go out for him. And then Hilleman, he was a dude from our company, from the Alpha company that got hit, and that one hit pretty hard, man. He was a really good dude. Got shot in the neck, man. He bled out. I have a video, not of him getting shot, but like right before he got shot, we had that video.
Hey gents, I gotta go pick up little girls.
Okay.
Dave Bolshazak should be rolling in here any minute.
Oh
He's
jeez.
about
Okay.
5 minutes overdue. He's gonna put in a little network switch.
How long is he gonna need to be here?
Probably about 30 minutes, I think. To put
Okay,
in a
because I
network
have
switch.
to be at Fort Casper at 5:45.
Do you? Okay.
Okay.
Well, he was supposed to be here at 4:45. So he's
Oh,
5
man.
minutes late. So.
Okay.
We'll I'll try to get through some.
Yeah, we're gonna have to finish up here. We're gonna have to take care of him.
Yeah.
So what I'll tell you what. Let's just skip forward. So when did you get home? When did you guys?
Oh man, we got to talk about Wenat at least.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us. Yeah.
So
Wenat.
yeah, Wenat. I mean, we know the story of that. How that went down.
So you saw the video, the training video in Hawaii?
No, it was in Afghanistan.
It's in Afghanistan.
It was in Afghanistan because, like 3 days before we went in, they're like, hey, they want us to go back into this place, blah, 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 blah. Like, not a lot of people have been there since, and then they briefed us on this. And we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so we watched that PowerPoint and, like, where everything happened. And that fucking reporter, that black dude, he came with us on this one. And also, I want to say someone from Rangers was out in the area at the same time. And then there was a group of SEAL snipers that went out with us, and they provided overwatch for us on the fucking mountain. So what had happened was, and this is kind of one of those moments that really just kind of sticks with you. We went in to Wenat, and I was on the first bird. I was on the first chalk in, and so the helicopter right in front of us, our security helicopter, just fucking rocketed the shit out of this cornfield that we were about to land in. Just fucking blew the fucking shit out of that. Because, I mean, obviously, when you have a history like that, you have a reputation like that, you don't fucking take chances.
Yeah, that was serious bad, dude.
Yeah.
Because when I was doing the study, there were even, we had this discussion of going up there so I could see the terrain. And they told me from Afghanistan, they said, Mr. Cubison, that would be a battalion operation to get you in there.
Yeah.
It's like, you're kidding me. They said, it is that bad.
It is, man, and that's what we did. We deployed our Alpha Company and pretty much almost a battalion, man.
Yeah. That's what they told me.
They said HHC.
They said it'd take a whole battalion to go in there.
And so, yeah, and I don't know, before we get to the shitty part, the funny part was right when we were going off of the helicopter, because it was at night, and like right before the sun came up. And so, like, I just see all these dudes, and like they're running off the back of the Chinook, and I have the 240, and I'm going to be one of the last dudes off, and have my dots on.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, these guys are disappearing quick, because usually you can see them just
yeah.
and run away. And I was like, these guys are going fucking quick, man. And I see the dude with the camera, and he gets up and he goes, and he just disappears. And I was like,
what the hell's going on?
I was like, what the fuck? And so I go running, man. I'm like, it's my turn. And I find out real quick.
You went off one of those terraces, didn't you?
Yeah, we were like 5 feet in the air because they didn't want to land all the way because it was so shitty. I was like, ha, bam, right on my face. And I was like, oh, God. Well, it makes sense now.
Listen.
And
I need to open these windows in case Dave comes in.
No, yeah, too easy. And in hindsight, this is one of those things for me that is it someone was in the wrong place at the wrong time, or were they in there for a specific reason? So in that cornfield that we rocketed, there was a farmer and his wife in there, and his wife was probably like 8 months pregnant. She got hit with a piece of shrapnel. I mean, like he got fucking knocked off his feet. He got pretty banged up, but she got hit with a piece of shrapnel, and it cut her open from her privates all the way up to her neck. And so Dubas and I, the RTO, and I were one of the first ones up there because I pushed out to point with a machine gun, and Lieutenant Clayson was right behind us. And so we walked up on that, and so Dubas and I had to throw her on the litter, take her in, and put her in the center of town real quick while everyone else was doing all their stuff. Well, I broke away from them, and I went back into my weapons squad. And so we come up on this building, right? Sketchy looking fucking building in town. And we're like, all right, this has a pretty good vantage point. So this is where we're going to set up the machine guns. And so I'm second man in. Sergeant Carroll kicks open the door, big black Sergeant Carroll, and just screams at everyone, get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! This is our fucking building now! Get the fuck out! And so we break out the windows, put our fucking 240s and stuff in there. Sure as shit, man, not even 2 minutes after that, we get a call on the radio. Hey, you guys need to get the fuck out of there. Negative, son. This is pretty good. Hold up, we got a pretty good vantage point. No, negative, son, Carol. You guys are getting the fuck out of there right now. You guys just invaded a mosque.
It was the mosque. Yep,
it was
yep.
the
I know.
fucking mosque.
Yep, I know right where that building was.
Yep.
It was the mosque.
Yep. And so sure as shit.
That's what I was thinking.
We break out the fucking windows in there, and we fucking set up shop in the mosque, get kicked the fuck out like 2 minutes later. And, you know, we didn't take any really bad contact, man. We just threw pop shots. But that's also because, like I said, we had the SEAL sniper team. And so we could hear them popping shots all fucking night, man. Yeah. And I do feel bad because they shot this poor little fucking farmer like twice in the same fucking day, man. So, again, sometimes you gotta wonder, like, were they really supposed to be there? Or is that just wrong place, wrong time? So, that happened, and then
I see his vehicle out there.
He just pulled in, so he's working.
He's working now?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, and so our Alpha Company element starts taking some contact, and we drop a few bombs in on them. Not on Alpha Company, but with it.
Sorry to interrupt, but I'm going to head out, guys. So
All right.
Thanks, Adrian, for sitting down with us, and Doug, we'll see you.
All right.
Tomorrow sometime.
Okay. Yeah. See you tomorrow night.
Yep.
But yeah, so we do that, and Son Carroll wanted me to go do BDA with those guys, and I didn't want to, you know, after, like I said, that's one of those things that just kind of sticks with you. After going through that first part of the day, I was just like, you know what, like, I don't want to do this one. So he kind of understood after that, and so they took off and they went to do the BDA with fucking Hennis is actually when they went. And so, while they were gone, we had called in the medevac for that lady. And so we had to go out there and walk her out to the medevac line. And as they were leaving, we took a couple pop shots. And so we, you know, we took contact and we fucking gained fire superiority. They dropped a bomb on us, motherfuckers. And then we walked back to our position. And we were honestly there for like maybe only 3 days. And it's crazy because it's like some of those 3 days, like, I don't remember a lot. Like, I had pictures and stuff. And I remember, like, we were taking contact at one point, and this A-10 came in, and I wish I could find that video on here, and did a fucking gun run, and I have it on video. Just smoked the shit out of those guys, and it was cool because this is the first time any of us ever seen the A-10. We're like, oh fuck, gun run, yeah, yeah. And so yeah, dude, just lit these dudes up, and then that was pretty much it. You know, I'm glad we didn't take a lot of contact, but on the way out from that, we got separated somehow. Well, I know how. So we stayed the night in our vehicles, right? Because we were supposed to provide security for an A&A clip that was going back to Nangalong from there. And so we're like, okay, yeah, we can do that. And so we stayed the night, and a fucking flash flood came, and like somehow just washed the road out between my like second squad truck and the closest truck. We were the very last truck. So I'll just bring in some pictures one of these days, but it's fucking huge. It's like 4 or 5 car lengths long and like 2 car lengths deep that just washed out.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, the whole damn everything just drains right in there.
Yeah, and just a big like mudslide happened. And so,
but it's interesting because when you said it was a sketchy looking building and a good position, it's like that was the mosque because during the fight and whatnot, the insurgents or whatever you call them, the terrorists or whatever, they occupied it and shot at the Americans from that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I was like, I felt really bad.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what's the 173rd guys who were there. That's how they described it. They said that mosque was a sketchy looking building.
Dude, it was. Yeah. It was so fucking sketchy walking up to it, and I was like, what the fuck is this on camera? I was like, I don't care.
Because it had like pillars, right?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Columns on it.
Yep. Yeah, I wish I had those pictures because I had pictures of like sleeping and like colored up next to the pillars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we were driving back to Nangalom after that to fly back to Joyce, and we got separated through that flood, and it took us like almost 2 days to dig across so we can get across, and it washed up an IED that like rolled up right next and just like propped itself right on our vehicle. And, and we went out in the morning to look, and I was like, oh my god, you guys, oh fuck, and there's a fucking ID right there. And so we had this crazy FO. He was Captain Bloom's FO, and he was like, get away, you guys. And so what does fucking crazy in the head Sergeant Tyler Lishman do? The fucker starts throwing rocks at it. We're like, Lishman, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude? And he's like, no, it's good, man. It didn't explode. I was like, Lishman, what the fuck is wrong with you? So not only did we have to fucking wait for someone to help us dig ourselves across, we had to wait for fucking EOD because Lishman's like, hey, we have an ID, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I was throwing rocks at it. Ha, 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 ha. Fucking crazy in the head, man. But yeah, coming home, I came home in March, in like March of 2012.
Okay.
And I don't know. I'm going to school for social work now, and so I take like a lot of psych classes and learn a lot about like PTSD and all this crazy stuff. And man, I call them my dark days, but I definitely hit a phase there after I got back. Where
Go ahead. Hold on just a sec.
Yeah.
Hold that. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Be on.
Can I prop the back door open for a minute so I can take some of the equipment out?
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
That's no problem. Yeah, that's good.
All right, that's well finished.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Hold on, Adrian. I'm going to use the restroom again here.
too easy.
I've got too much caffeine in me. Hey,
Right.
listen. You need to make sure you tell me about that the Afghan scarf.
Oh yeah, man.
About that stuff.
Damn, it's not a sign Walter.
All right. But I mean, you sound like you're getting your head pretty straight now, though.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong. After I came back from deployment, like, I went through in those phases, man, where I wasn't a shitbag soldier, but I definitely didn't it wasn't my peak performance,
Yeah.
So I got in a lot more fights. I got in a lot more trouble. I almost got kicked out of the army at one point, like right before I left. So Obama, good old Obama, did the troop drawback. I don't know if you remember that, but so I was one of the first like 5 dudes to get hit with this in my battalion. They put us all together one day in Hawaii, and they're like, "All right, gentlemen, sorry to do this to you, but you can either decide to get out now, or re-up for 3 more years right now." And I was like, "Well, what happened to the year extension?" Because initially, what my friend and I, McLeod, had set out to do was after deployment, like try to go to Benning and then go to like Ranger School and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is get a year-long extension, and then when I re-upped, ask for Ranger School with
Sure.
that extension, so I would go to Benning and stuff like that. Well, didn't happen. He's like, "You can get out now, or you can re-enlist for 3 more years right now." And I was like, "Oh fuck, man. Well, I guess I'm gonna get out now." And so I ended up getting out. And honestly, for a long time, like, I feel like because I got out kind of like a sour note with the military, that really influenced some of my decisions really hastily. Like, I threw away almost all my uniforms, threw away my stack. The only thing I kept really was like a few of those patches. I had my blue cord, but I lost that in a car wreck. It just wasn't for me anymore, I remember Sergeant Smith, when we came back one day, like, he was like specifically telling me, he's like, "Oh, like, throw these dudes in the dumpster, like, don't get me wrong, like, I get it, but like, I just got done going to war with these dudes, man, like, I'm not gonna fucking be a dick to these guys, like, if there's anyone that could be my family, it's these guys." And so that just really rubbed me the wrong way, and I told him I didn't want to be a team leader for him anymore, and then we got into it, and that is how that one ended, unfortunately. And then I did get out, and through all the stuff that I learned, maybe it was just making hasty decisions because what was going on inside. So I did that, and then I started working with veterans, honestly, because of John and Lisa.
Yeah.
They put me on track to like do a few veteran things, and just kind of took off from there. And so now that's really like the real thing, I guess, that got me back to being here and like trying to get over everything, was working with veterans and helping them figure out how to get back to themselves, I guess. So
Well, it's a tough, it's a tough transition, and they don't do much to They do all this training, but they do much to prepare you for what you're going to see and experience.
Yeah.
And, and you don't, you're 20 years old, 22 years old, and suddenly you get all this shit thrown at you.
Right.
And that's tough, man. Because, like I said, the Army does all sorts of training to prepare your body to shoot all these weapons, to do all these missions, to do all these things. You learn how to do 9 lines in your sleep and all this. But they don't teach you what you're going to see and experience and how to deal with it.
Right.
And that's a big shortfall. And it causes lots of guys. It just scrambles guys,
It does, and don't get me wrong. Like they did those like little briefs, like if you're not feeling all right, speak up now. And like it was like a room full of like.
And you're in with all your studs, and
yeah,
you're gonna raise your hand, really?
Yeah, and that was like one of the big things to get over too, and I specifically remember that. Like, yeah, we had our problems. Like there were people that got sleep studies done on deployment and like all this other stuff, and lots of TBI testing, but no one admitted to anything.
Yeah.
No one like,
Well,
I have PTSD. Like no one's.
You're a combat infantryman. You're gonna admit that you're not a stud and can't do your job. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. You're not gonna do that. I'm sorry. We don't do that.
Happen.
No, we don't do that.
But and I guess that's probably where I think my leadership failed me the most was by making sure that if you said something like you was a fucking weak link and you knew it. Because man, I've seen a lot of really good dudes just crash and burn after deployment.
Yeah.
I know a lot of dudes in rehab now that I deployed with, a lot in jail. A lot of suicide attempts, a lot of all this other stuff. But I've also seen some of the most resilient people I've ever met. I know 5 people that have lost limbs. 6 if you count a jaw. And you see some of the most resilient people too. So I don't know. It's Afghanistan was an experience for everyone.
Yeah. Well, now you're at the point where you can begin figuring out how to help people.
Yeah.
And you've gone through it, so you know how to help people.
Right.
That's powerful.
It is, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I was really hesitant even today about coming out here and telling this because again, everyone always feels like, oh, dude. Like, this isn't my story, this is my platoon story.
Sure.
And I know everyone feels like that. But it's part of that thing about, like, alright, now's a transition period into how do you get past this. And so, no matter how much I didn't want to do it, like, I did it because I know the more I talk about this and the more I can speak about this, the easier it's going to be.
Yeah.
And so, it's a good thing, though, too, it really is. Because, I was listening to a General Mattis thing today. And I really liked what he said. He said there's a thing called post-traumatic growth as well. So what can you really do? How can you grow from this?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the times, especially with veterans today, they focus on PTSD, post-traumatic disorder. What happened to you? Why not post-traumatic growth, man? Like, what did you go through? And then, like Colton Sasser. That's one of my favorite pictures from deployment. Is him and I went to school together. And I went straight into the Army. He went to UW. I was graduating basic. He went into basic. I found out I was deploying. He started training with special forces guys too, like we did. I was on deployment. He figured out he was going to deploy. He trained to do the same exact job that I did. So when it came down to it, like I remember calling him on the phone and messaging him on Facebook and stuff. I was like, "Where you going?" He was like, "Afghanistan." I was like, "Oh, fucking sweet, dude, that's where I'm at." I was like, "You can drop some fucking bodies, man." And then like he told me, he's like, "Oh yeah, we're going to Fob Joyce." I was like, "Shut the fuck up, dude. That's where I'm at."
Wow.
And so when it came down to it, man, like we'd known each other from high school because we both graduated KDAB. We were both friends in high school. We know each other. So I ran out the night he got in. I got his fly bag, his bags from the flight deck. Like I walked into his fucking place. He ended up taking over like the same bed that I fucking slept in, the same machine gun I carried, the same fucking truck I drove in. 4 months after that, he got hit. So it's it really is an unforgiving place, and I'm just really thankful that me and mine got out pretty unscathed, and we did lose a lot of good guys there, and that sometimes that is kind of hard to think about, but
Well, you know, it's tough to put things in perspective, but, you know, think about these guys like in World War I.
Yeah.
Entire damn platoon gets wiped out just like that.
And
you
that's
know?
crazy, man.
I mean,
think about that.
Think about what those guys went through. Yeah, you know, you don't realize when you're 18 and signing up for this shit. This is a tough line of work, man. This is a rough line of work. This is not a profession for the wimps. This is tough, nasty stuff, man.
And you know, like I said, I always think back about that too. Like, it was the best, most shittiest, fucking terrible, exciting time of my life on deployment. And Sergeant Rob fucking nailed it on the head, man. I'm glad that I got to deploy to Afghanistan, especially as a light infantryman, because I had a notion in my head of what it was going to be like, and by God, I fucking fulfilled it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I can say that when I went in with a standard, man, it was met. It was fucking exceeded in some cases, but that's the shit I like, and eventually it wasn't, I do it for me or I do it for college. Man, I do it for this dude. I just fucking sweaty, nasty dude who stole my fucking socks because he didn't pack his own and do anything. And I do it for those guys because they fucking get me.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm gonna be, man. I hope veterans get back to themselves again.
Fantastic. Listen, I got to close up, and I got to get out of here. So I'm going to turn this contraption off.
Too easy. Yeah, and if you want, I mean, if there's anything else I can.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about the scarf real quick while I pack this shit up and stuff.
The scarf. So one of the dudes that was in the helicopter crash, Mendez, he got really, really bad TBI. He was Sergeant Walter. And so they got sent home. And Mendez had actually traded his socks with some fucking hot technician. A pair of his socks were fucking like 3 or 4 like man scarves. So some dude's rolling around with Mendez's stinky socks and he got their scarves. So after he got sent home after the helicopter crash, he let me have one. I was like, "Oh, dude," and I wore that on every single fucking mission I went on after he left because I was like, "Hey man, my dude." In some way, shape, or form, like, you're gonna fucking complete this. You're gonna complete this deployment with us, man. You're gonna keep going on these missions. And so, like, we would send him pictures. Like, there's one on Oakley Shaw with my buddy and I. He has a rocket launcher. No, I have a rocket launcher, and he has a grenade. He's about to throw it and stuff. And like, we would send him stuff when he